first, I'm going to start out with our defending champion, the pride of Lethbridge, Alberta. Kip Kangogo has run this race. I've had the privilege of being in the lead vehicle, seeing Kip chases for the last 5 years in a row. And in those 5 years, Kip's run 63 minutes and a few seconds every year, and he's won 4 out of 5 of those years. So I got to start out, Kip, asking you, clearly you own this race. What's the secret? Do you have any secrets you're willing to share?
Well, if you are looking for the secret, there is no secret. The secret is training. Training and being consistent. Like, when I came in 2009 and won this race, I never came the following year and say, I'm gonna win it. I went back to my training, keep doing what I usually do, and know that, actually, I never won this race last year. So this is a different race in 2010. So I come as a new person and try to run my best race. So there's no secret, it's about training. It's about being patient the first 10 kilometers and try to make the move in the 11, 12 kilometers, staying away and shaping the race and see what's happening.
Are there any key points on the course that stand out for you, Kip?
Well, there are some few places, like there's some few components which you really need to know so that you can run a good race. So when you come downhill, try to be patient. Don't get excited. And then when you come up Jericho, try to stay awake because Jericho it's a small uphill and it tells you this is a race. So then you come to 17 kilometers. When coming up 15 kilometers, you try to warm yourself up for Barrage Bridge because Barrage Bridge doesn't mess around. So you have to have something left in the tank to push that hill. So when Barrage Bridge comes up, say, welcome Barrage Bridge, I'm here for you, let's go.
Thank you, Kip. As one of our 3 Olympic marathoners in 2012, we have 2 of them on the stage here. Reed Coulsett from the Speed River Track Club in Guelph. What is the secret, Reed? How did you beat it?
I let Kip do all the hard work up the Broad Street Bridge, and then I took off him, and I got lucky that day, and I was able to stay away. So,
do you have any, again, particular advice for people running this race, this course, or any race day tip that you think you'd want to share?
Yeah, for this course, because you have a lot of downhill, if you run it too hard, you'll feel it towards the end of the race. So just just kind of let the downhill help you get along, and then make sure you save some energy for Broad Street Bridge because it's quite a hill, and you still have 3K to go from that point on.
And one of our other Olympic marathoners here, Dylan Whites. It's been a bit of a patient road back after London 2012. What are your thoughts, your strategy, your ambitions to dethrone our champion for tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously it would be great to win, but I just want to get out there and be competitive. It's only my 3rd race this year, and my first race of the half marathon in a long time. So I'll just have to go with the flow. Hopefully I'm still strong over the last 5K and can be competitive towards the end. We'll see.
You've had some challenges with injuries after London the last 2 years. Reed's nursing a bit of an injury right now. This is an important part, I think, of training and racing. What have you learned from the last 2 years, and how have you been able to overcome the injury and get back on the race scene again?
Yeah, I think most of all I've learned not to run 3 hard marathons in 1 year. Maybe Athletics Canada could take a note of that. But besides that, just patience. You realize how much you love the sport when you're on the sidelines injured. That it's something you take for granted sometimes when you're out there and you have years and years and years of good training. You don't realize how lucky you actually are.
Rob was our top Canadian finisher, 20th in the world overall at the World Championship Marathon in Moscow. Rob, you live here, you train on parts of the course. How can you take ownership back from Lethbridge? What are your thoughts? You've raced this event several times. Your tips for tomorrow?
Yes, I've raced this race a lot. I've never won it, so when it comes to race day tips, listen to what Kip has to say, because he knows what he's doing out there, and I just try to follow him as long as I can. And my strategies for taking ownership of this course was to train with Dylan and help him get as fit as possible. Hopefully he can win. I'm just going to go out there and have a fun time. I'm going to run as hard as I can. It's a fantastic course. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's one of my favorite races, so I'm just out there, loving it.
I couldn't help noticing Dylan's small comment about Athletics Canada and lots of racing. You've raced quite a bit the last year or two. How do you find your balance between training and racing, not overdoing it?
I love racing. It's really, really fun, but a lot of times when you get into a race, when I race a lot, you got to swallow your pride. And sometimes, you're not fit, you're not peaked, but you get in the race, just get the race experience, just get the race feeling, get your routine down. So, you may know you're not at your absolute fittest, but at the same time, there's nothing more fun than a road race. It's such positive energy, such a great community. An event like this, I ran a marathon 4 weeks ago, so I'm not exactly super fit for a half marathon, but it's just too much fun to pass up, really. I love road racing, and I just do it because it's my favorite thing to do. Thank you.
And do you think we might read some blogs about the pain on Monday, Rob?
Yes.
I want to introduce finally, he's an exciting new talent on our Canadian scene, and Sami Jibril here from Athletics Toronto.
I want to be as strong mentally as physically as well too. I mean, that was the race goal, to hang in there as long as I could and to gather as much experience in half marathons, as many as I can, and try to learn everything I can about this distance. So it's fairly new to me.
Anything you're planning to try out tomorrow that you're willing to share? That you've moved up from shorter distance racing. Something you're hoping to get out of the race tomorrow?
I mean, I'm going to approach the race, fairly excited for the opportunity to compete with the guys. So, for sure I will be up there, and I just want to compete, the best I can.
I know Sami, until fairly recently, was working the night shift with the Toronto Transit Commission, and you've recently switched to the afternoon shift, so it fits with the training better. How have you managed to balance all of these demands for work, training, and how much training are you able to get done, Sami?
I mean, it has been pretty difficult while I was on the night shift, and my recent change to the afternoon shift did wonders for me. I mean, training's been going well, and I find time to get all the training I can possible, and I find no problem balancing it. For sure.
How much running are you doing? You doing 80K a week, 160K?
Roughly about 140, 150K. Kind of toned it down a little bit after Montreal.
And doubles, one workout a day?
I mean, I pretty much find time to do most of my runs single days, and throughout the weekend, if I'm feeling a little sluggish, I might split it up and take a nap in between whenever I can.
Are you a father?
Yes, I'm a father.
Good work, yeah.
And Dylan might be any moment, so he's looking for some tips from you. on how you've managed to balance the family life with training and racing.
Well, family life is vacation time. Let me say that. But when you welcome that newborn, your life changes in that second. And when that life changes, it changes for the better. So be ready. You know, like, your life is not gonna be the same, but it's gonna change. It's gonna change in that second. When you hold that baby, you know that you are a father, and it comes with responsibilities. So you gotta try to balance running with family life. So it's tough, but it's doable. So be ready, it's coming, and it's a fun life.
Are you ready, Dylan?
No. Let's be honest, I don't think we can ever be ready, but just go with the flow when it happens.
Hey, Dylan Wykes, you're saying that recently you don't have a good sense of where your fitness is at because you've had a couple of years of injury, but you have run 29:11 and 29:40 for 10K this spring, so you must have some expectations with tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, certainly those two 10Ks that I've done at the Sun Run and in Ottawa show me that I'm in decent shape, but it's been a long time since I've done kind of training where it's just been 80, 90 miles a week, and that's sort of where I've been at, and that's transferred okay to the 10K, but I'm not as certain how well it'll transfer to the half, so that's why I'm kind of I guess a little bit cagey about what sort of time we can run. Certainly, I think I'm capable of, running in around the times that it's taken to one in the past. So under 64 minutes, 63 something. Hopefully can run somewhat conservative in the beginning and be strong towards the end.
Thanks. Fourth round.
It's kind of working.
So Kip, you've won 4 out of 5 times, and you got a few competitors here for you tomorrow. You have other races to worry about too, but do you specifically practice some of that steeper downhill running in a longer runs or tempos or anything like that to be able to compete here at Scotiabank every year?
When my training is more, I try to balance my training, like it's not gonna be running. In Lethbridge we have coolies, and in those coolies there are some hills, and there are some sessions which I dedicate to hill repeat, and my long runs will be in a different place. And so when I try to train, I don't train just like to run Barrard Bridge. I train to be more like all over the place, like downhill, uphill. I just try to be ready for anything, and I just run my race and do the best I can.
Yeah, the injury I have right now, I can't do any cross training. So when I get back, the biggest thing is going to be patience and not pushing too hard and injuring myself. So it's good to have a race on the calendar in the long term to keep me motivated, but I don't like to plan anything in the short term to put any more added stress coming back from my injury. So it's really hard to say with my particular injury right now what my next plans will be. But yeah, I'll be one step at a time and just making sure I get back to proper running, proper health.
It's just all about management, staying positive, working through it, doing the little things, getting your massages, doing your recovery. Injuries are going to happen, and that's pretty much it. It's going to happen to all of us at one point or another.
Hey Rob, similar to a question that I had for Dylan, in that you seem to be fit, but you've had a couple of off races, so you must have, again, some minimum expectations for tomorrow too?
Yeah, also, anytime you're a runner, you're going to have good races, you're going to have bad races. You just got to take it as they go, and my expectations for tomorrow is just run as hard as I can, and that's all I'm going to do, and that's all I can expect from myself. I don't have any time goals. I just want to get out there and compete and have fun.
And we'll see you at the finish line. Thank you very much.